Well, today on Focus Gaming News, we're pleased to have with us Gabriele De Lorenzi, Director of WorldMatch. Gabriele, thank you for joining us. How are things there?
Hello, Joseph. Thank you for inviting me for this conversation with you. Things are fine here. We are coping so far quite well with the COVID situation. We are able to come to work to the office, have our children going to school. So far is good, but we know we have some months ahead which will be very tough. So we hope we can keep on this way.
Oh, that's good to hear. Is it a pleasure for everybody to be back at the office?
Yes, it's a different way of working. Of course, it's nice to work from home as well, but if it's every day, some things are quite difficult to handle. And there is a lot of teamwork in this kind of company, so it's easier when you are sharing the same spaces to have conversation, to find things to do with the games, or just to conversate about our own daily life, and so makes life easier in a way. So it's good to be working from the office, a kind of normal life and socialization and this kind of thing. So we need that too.
Great. Well, 2020 was a phenomenal year for online gaming. What would you say were the highlights for WorldMatch?
Well, let's say yes, it has been a particular year because of COVID, of course. So in some kind of activities, it was very difficult. It was not possible, for example, to meet people like we used to do during exhibition. So it was a completely different way of working. We had to adapt to that way of working. And even more the operators, because we provide games to them, and more for them it was even more difficult. So the first part of the year was really challenging, and maybe nobody has a clear idea of where things were going. But we could see a complete difference in the approach since maybe September, after the summertime. And so the first year we could keep more or less the same figures of last year's, but things change a lot, and so the business changed. The operator understood how to cope with the situation, and they could grow a lot, especially in some markets. Italian market is keeping on growing compared to the past months, so we could enjoy also that kind of situation. So from that point of view, I think we learned a lot, and there is something that maybe we will use. I'm sure we will keep on using for the next month. So it's a good lesson, and we could grow up stronger. It was a good lesson, honestly. So that
excellent.
Was, on the other hand, we are opening to new markets. In Argentina, for example, the city of Buenos Aires, we are certifying the games for that area. We will start to work soon in Belarusia. We have the certificate for that area. So the company is still growing and looking for regulated markets everywhere where it's possible. We are ready to certify and enter those markets.
Like you say, it's a lot of markets have seen a growth in online gaming in the past year. Italy, of course, you mentioned, had record online revenues in December and January. Do you expect that to continue now as countries start to sort of emerge from the pandemic? Do you think there's still room for more growth online?
Yeah, I think that will happen, honestly, based on the data we can analyze and the talk we are having with the operators. They are really on the street, so they know exactly what's going on, and we have very good feedback from them. And as I said, they had to find a way to survive, and I think some of them really find a good way to do it. And I think that we also, especially in some market, we have some products that are really famous in the land-based markets. And so having those products and the operator that use those products is a plus, because they could really get all those players that come from the land base. And therefore add a new player to their platform. So I think there will be a good retention at the end of this. So we will have many players that are moving from the land base and they will stay on the online markets. So we are quite confident that also in the next month we should see a growing market on the online as well.
Excellent. Well, what is WorldMatch looking at in terms of game design? What do you think customers will be looking for in the future?
Well, we actually, this is always a difficult question, to be honest, because, as I say, we have a good communication with many of our partners, operators. So it's important for us to understand their feedback and try to move accordingly to their feedback, because they know their player. So we are, for example, our intention is to keep on realizing products that are as more as possible tailored on the different markets. So as I had the chance to say in the past, a game that works here in Italy or in Asia or in it's not the same game. So we need to do something different and more related to the taste and culture of the different countries. So in these terms, we, beside having our people working in a different country and so feedback from them, we are cooperating with, for example, artists or mathematicians in order to catch all the different tastes and try to make a product really appealing for the different operators. And beside this, of course, we are investing on certification in the different markets. So opening ourselves to different markets, it means makes also game that can accept different kind of languages. It means research and development. Beside that, we have implemented a new user interface. So our games are coming out with a new user interface. We are developing games that are very much related to mobile device. For example, we have seen with this pandemic, the percentage of mobile game has grown up a lot, really a lot. And so mobile is definitely where everybody has to invest in order to have a good product. So yeah, we have some products that are completely new, so something very interesting. And it depends of the public, the way we will see if they will like it. But there is a lot of creativity, and we are putting it right in place. So.
Excellent. Well, what's your take on the frequency at which providers should produce new games? We know that there's some providers put a priority on frequency. What do you think? How often do you try to have new releases for operators?
Yeah, I've seen because of course it's part of my job and activity to have a look at other providers, and I've seen there are different kind of attitude actually, and also it depends a lot of the market where you go, and it depends a lot of the operator. You have operator and markets where there are too many games. And if you produce like 50 games a year, maybe you go out with half of it. They will take half of it. So it depends a lot of the market. This year we are scheduling 37 games, slot machine games. We will have some other kind of games. So I think for us that's a good average in terms of releasing. But of course, if we enter a new market and we need to give good products, we have the competence in order to push on new releases. So we are very dynamic from this point of view. But considering the different market where we are all working and the feedback, once again, we have from operators, we consider that can be a good average for this year. So it depends a lot. It's a strategy. It depends of the company. It depends of the feedback, and anyone, I think, can make their own calculation about what is best. But I see
you mentioned
a different attitude actually. So because it's something that I like to keep an eye on. So yes, definitely.
Well, you mentioned entering Argentina, of course, earlier. And how do you see the potential of the markets in Argentina and the kind of interest that consumers have there?
Yeah, consider that all Latin American markets is very important for us. We have been among the first one to enter Colombian markets. We are already working in Argentina with one of the few regulator operator in San Luis. And so we see very well the opportunity to work in the city of Buenos Aires. We are actually certifying the games. And I think it's a good opportunity. And for a company that consider Latin American markets very important, I think we have to try and to invest. And we have already cooperation with operator that will work in the city of Buenos Aires. So I think we will enter that market during this year. So we are on our way. So I think it will be soon. I think it's going to be a good market, honestly, because there are a lot of people living over there. It's a big city, and maybe it's the start for all the provinces in Argentina. So the regulated market is going to be a must, and probably the solution for many countries, I think.
Excellent. Well, Gabriele, thank you. Is there anything you'd like to add from your own perspective? Anything you're looking forward to this year?
Well, I think I've been telling about my view of what's going to be during this year. No, there's not much. I think it's a challenging year as all the years. I would like to add that the company is growing up in numbers and is establishing itself as a very important company worldwide. So I think we have been doing very well in the past, and we will enjoy a lot in the future. Enjoy is a must for everybody here in the company. So we like what we do, and I think we see it in the terms of the products, and so we look forward really with a lot of interest, and I think we will do good.
Excellent. That's a good attitude.
Yes, I think so. Yeah, that's important, always.
Well, Gabriele De Lorenzi, Director of WorldMatch, thank you for joining us. It's been a pleasure.
It was a pleasure for me as well, and thank you very much. Indeed.
We'll speak again soon. Thanks, Gabriele. Bye.
Bye-bye. Have a good day.